Hi everybody, welcome to the pilot episode of Chevyrell Stuff. Thanks for stopping by. If you haven't checked out my introduction video, go do that. I am going to get right down to the nitty-gritty and get into the stuff. What I'm wearing, this is called the Close to You Shawl by Justina Lorkowska, and the yarn is the Exotic Traveler by Countess Ablaze. It was a huge splurge for me because anything that you buy across the pond, either way, costs quite a bit in shipping. I love her stuff. Her colorways are awesome. This is 50-50 camel and silk, and I love it, and it's so soft, and the drape is awesome. My next FO is the Basic Bulky Hat by Shayna Billow. I knit this in Malabrigo Caracol, I don't know how to say it, in the pearl colorway. My friend Sarah and I, she also knits. We went to St. Louis last April for Dan's 40th birthday, and of course I have to look up a knitting shop. We hit a store called Knittorious. It was super cute on the corner. If you're in St. Louis, I suggest checking it out. But they had this knit up as a shop sample, and I fell in love with the Pom Pom. And the gal said that the person who knit up the sample just knit the hat and then used the rest to make the Pom Pom, and she just used her hand. So that's what I did. I knit the whole hat in, I did make an alteration. I knit it in the round. The pattern calls to knit it flat. I knit this entire hat whilst watching A Christmas Story Live, which I wasn't really a fan of. Does that make me a bad person? Anyway, I think I spent just as much time shaping the Pom Pom as I did knitting the hat. My next FO, everybody's heard of Christy Glass, right? Everybody. I got in my head that I wanted to hand spin for her chunky stocking pattern. I had some faux cashmere, which all that is nylon, but it's super soft. So I spun a fat single. The gray is just an acrylic, and I didn't, when it's hanging up, you can't see that. I just use scrap yarn to tie those on for the time being. I'll do it better later. But I made two of them, and they're different on both sides. But this faux cashmere spun up super fast, and it was a nice spin. It took me like a Sunday. I could knit one of these stockings in an evening. They went super fast. I don't know where the faux cashmere came from, but I do know that my friend Heather dyed it, and she gave it to me when she was kind of cleaning out some of her stash. So it's actually been in my fiber stash for a while. It decided it wanted to be stockings on that Sunday. My last FO is the Touchstone Shawl by Laura Ayler. Mom, if you're watching this and you don't have this yet and you want to be surprised, look away. My mom had a Yowza skein, and this is an entire skein of Yowza. So the reason that I left the tails on is because I wanted you to see to what extent I played yarn chicken with this. Because this is the last row. The reason that I knit this, my mom is a knitter, however, she is a slow knitter, and I offered to knit it for her, so she actually had a shawl to wear before winter was over. Works in progress. Okay. This sounds crazy. Everybody's doing the Cozy Memories blanket. I have a bunch of fingering scraps. I, of course, started the Beekeeper's quilt. I have more of these. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Anywho, all is not lost because I love them. They are so much fun to just play with. I do, and I keep them in the little thing, and they're awesome. And I have a whole nother thing back there that I love and I play with. So they won't be a blanket, but they still make me happy. Everybody's on the Cozy Memories train, which is awesome. I love seeing those blankets. However, many moons ago, I bought this book with the intention of crocheting all 200 of the squares. I am currently on number 8. I'm not going to set myself on a time limit with this. With crochet, I feel like it's a nice palette cleanser. Since these squares are small and they're all different, I find myself wanting to knit them. I never get bored with it. Ask me later, since I'm only on number 8. Right now I'm having a lot of fun doing those. I will not show you these umpteen times. I'll only show you once. So far I have this one. Also, I have no idea what these scraps are. So that's what I have so far on my crochet blanket. I'll show them to you just as I do them, I guess. And maybe someday before I die, I'll actually finish it. Hopefully I don't lose steam. My plan with putting all of the squares together, I just want plain gray, and that's what I'm going to connect them all together with. My next work in progress is the Brainless socks by Yarngasm. It's a free pattern. It was my Little Bobbins Christmas Eve cast on. It has been in my queue since the beginning of time. It probably has been in my queue since I first got on Ravelry. It is in my Addi bag. I got this from Simply Socks Yarn Company. This is how far I've gotten. You can't see. Oh, I guess I could show you what the pattern looks like, huh?
This podcast thing's starting out real good.
That's the Brainless pattern. A lot of you have probably seen it. Back to my socks. The yarn I'm using for this is Lane Cervinia. I'm probably butchering that. I'm sorry. I have no idea where I got this. I know that it was deep discount flash sale. I got, I think, 3 or 4 colorways that day. It's a workhorse yarn. It feels like I'm drawing a complete blank. Regia, why was that so hard? When I picked it, I in the pattern, she uses a stripy yarn, and I thought it was going to be plain stripes. It is totally not. I think we're going to lose the cabling up the side, but I really don't care. I have not gotten, of course, past the foot yet. It's very easy. I do this for 5.5 inches, I think, and I'll keep you posted how that heel works out. It looks very interesting. My standard vanilla sock pattern is definitely 2 at a time magic loop. I did buy myself for Christmas some addi flips. Of course, they're on back order because everybody wants them. I think they're called addi flips. Is that what they're called? You know what I mean, though. I'll link to them. They are back ordered until I think well into January, so I'm just patiently waiting. It'll be like getting a surprise in the mail. Next is enabling. Up until this point, there has only been one other time in my fibery history that I have caught an update, tried to do an update, set an alarm, got it, and that was for my Fat Squirrel library bag. This guy right here, I'm sure you've seen it. Love Amy Beth, she's a fellow Hoosier. Anyway, that is the only update that I have ever tried for until a couple Fridays ago. you guys. It's Voolenvine. For those of you who don't know her, I'll also link to everyone I'm talking about. She also does the Yarngasm Podcast. When she does updates, her yarn flies out in probably less than 5 minutes. I don't even know, but I didn't mess around. This colorway is a holiday colorway. She's not dyeing it anymore this year, probably next year. It's called Driven Snow. This is her Nouveau. I might be saying that wrong. And the sad thing is, I watch her podcast and have probably heard her say it a million times and still don't know how to say it right. But Nouveau, if that's how you say it, is a single ply. Why can I get that to focus? Probably not. I'm going to be one of those people. Anyway, single ply. Her cocoon base was totally purchased with a hat in mind. I love the Ninja Chickens podcast. I feel terrible because right now I cannot for the life of me remember her name. And it's one of those podcasts that I always get excited when she posts one. She recently just wrote a hat pattern, I think for like a chunkier yarn, and she's going to be releasing it, I think she said sometime in January. It doesn't have a name yet even. That's what this is gonna be. I'm super excited. My next enabling is a little different. It is a needle case, which is getting totally blown out. This is hand-turned holly wood. I had no idea that holly was white. I have a friend who I believe it was Rhinebeck. I could be wrong. It may have been Maryland Sheep and Wool many years ago that purchased one of these needle cases off of one of the vendors there. It was gorgeous. It's definitely heirloom quality. He has a very minimal website. I went there. You can't really order off of his website. And then I forgot about it. Well, I kept thinking about it over the years, like, oh, I really need to look into that. Well, my needle case broke. So I go to his website. I send him an email. I didn't hear back. After a lot of shopping, I went back to, his name's Bill Hardy, turnstylesonline.com. He has his phone number and address listed online. He's in Fairfax, Virginia. I had to leave a message on his answering machine. I said, hey, many months ago, I sent you an email. I thought I'd try this since I didn't hear back. He called and left me a message, left me a good email. I sent him a message. I explained to him that I have been dreaming about this needle case. I guess I can open it. There's a little rubber ring, and of course, you know how tapestry needles. So, I mean, there's plenty of room. I love it. He had 3 different kinds of woods. The reason I went with the holly is because it was the most unique to me. Highly recommend this if you need a needle case. It is definitely heirloom quality. Another enabling is another Christmas present that I bought for myself. People knitting, you guys. It's just a bunch of old pictures of people knitting. And guys, for you fellas, there you go. Okay, next up, DIY/Pinterest section. Right? Isn't it awesome? We went to one of those painting, wine drinking board. Some of them did wine glasses. Some of us did these boards. It was a lot of fun. I had to do something snarky, and you know I love to swear, so it had to have cuss word in it. Next up is show and tell. I had wanted a Nostipin for a very long time. I love tools. Ninja Chicken, which I still feel so bad that I can't remember her name, and I'm going to like face palm myself when I see it. So I'm so sorry, Ninja Chicken, I love you. But she showed this Nostipin, not this one, but a one like this, on her podcast. You guys, look at it. Isn't it awesome? This is hand carved. The gal's name is Nina Pomereki. I probably totally just botched that, but she's awesome. Her store, she has an Etsy shop, and she's also on Instagram. Instagram is where you will find her updates. She hand carves these, and she's in Sweden. I will tell you, they are not inexpensive. For the art, this is an heirloom piece. I love it. She does different kinds of birds. The reason that I picked this one is because I'm a huge dork and I want Jareth to be my boyfriend. So of course I had to get the barn owl. She did a kingfisher that was gorgeous. I loved it, but I needed the barn owl. I had to have it. Labyrinth is in my top 10 movies of all time. So that's my show and tell. I'll end the podcast with a question for you guys. What is a tool you have in your fibery arsenal that you wish you could use more often? I'm just wondering because I love tools, so you know I might buy one. That's it for this episode. Be sure to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. I will put the notes on the video, I believe, and on Ravelry. If you have any questions or I miss anything in the notes, be sure and let me know. I want it to be right. And until next time.